Fluent and chill, yeah, we call it how it's played. From the field to the court, every legend gets weighed. Fourth quarter heat over 2 minute
Don't
drill.
freaking
If you
drive.
can't
Hey,
handle
man.
truth,
Call
better
your
chill
mother.
with the skill. LeBron and MJ, we break that smoke.
Well, the closest thing to perfection, what does that make you?
Stats don't lie, we
Now
just
you're
let
more
us build. This is real talk sports. Welcome to Fluent and Chill. Fluent and chill, yeah, we call it how it's played. From the field to the court, every legend gets weighed.
That I just kind of do what I do, like I'm doing it for TV.
Yep.
So that being said, I'm curious to get your thoughts on have you gone to your YouTube channel today?
I just seen it. Yes, I did. What is this exactly, Tone? By the way,
CTH Chilltown Hoops, because you have like a logo where it's all written out, but you don't have like a sports fluent logo or a fluent and chill. Like you need like the letter logo, because on certain things it looks better than than having like a, I don't know, here like one of these that actually says the show name, right? Like we got all these right? And so sometimes you just need a little boop. And so CTH, I don't know.
It looked like I'm one of the Transformers. Like I'm a Decepticon.
Yes. I'm trying to broaden to a bigger audience for you, so that'll be very popular amongst the youth.
Mm-hmm.
And yes,
This guy Noman is the consummate Warriors fan. Ooh. Noman, listen to me, Noman, and I want you to. I'm going to say this to you as clear as I possibly can. Last season, it was the same thing with you. Your Warriors, you Warriors fans might be worse than Cowboy fans. I don't think you are, but you might. There could be an argument made that you're worse than Cowboy fans. Noman, you suck. As a Warriors fan,
I think you're wrong on this one.
You think they're worse?
No, I think you're wrong. I think the Warriors are making the playoffs.
I got them missing the playoffs. I do.
I think they're gonna surprise a lot of people in the West, because you know what's gonna happen. There's gonna be a team that we think is gonna be good, and they won't. Right? Mm-hmm. There's a team that's gonna have an injury to a key piece, and they're gonna drop off. And inevitably, there's a team that kind of people are flying under the radar, not giving them enough. The Warriors could be that team. When you have a team that has a veteran in Steph Curry who knows what to do in the regular season, a veteran in Draymond Green who, okay, fine, a veteran in Jimmy Butler who typically doesn't give his all in the regular season, but maybe it's like, hey, we kind of need you to step it up a little bit. Mm-hmm. You have now, Kuminga is now back. Breaking news for those that, does anyone not know? I don't even know. Does anyone not know? Breaking news. Jonathan Kuminga has signed a 2-year, $46 million deal. $48 million deal with the Golden State Warriors. So he will be returning. I believe they have the Dominican Dirk in Al Horford as another veteran guy. Look, he's not going to give him 30 minutes a night, but he can still give you 15 good minutes. Sure. Seth Curry. Now, does Seth Curry have the same youthful presence?
Higher? Bigger? Is that what you're looking for, Tom? Bigger? Is that the word?
He affects Steph Curry the way Giannis gets affected by his guy. So I think will the Warriors finish top 10 with that and more additions that they've kind of? How could they not? Mm-hmm. I think it would be a major disappointment if they don't finish in the top 10, because when you look at some of the teams, like what is there? There's 15 teams, so they only got to be better than 5.
Is it 15 in the West or 14 in the West? 15
in the West.
Okay, 15 in
they
the
only
West.
got to be better than 5, and they're better than. And I hate to say this, but they're better than the Jazz.
Yep.
You agree? Okay. Are they better than?
Uh-oh.
Are they better than? Are they better than New? Well, I don't know. It depends. New Orleans is very much going to depend on health of some health issues.
Yep.
Oof, man.
Mm.
Are they better than Sacramento? Yes.
You want to retract this statement, Tone?
No. I'm just, I said it before I looked at.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
So hold on. So are they better? So are they better than Sacramento? Clearly, because Sacramento stinks. They're better than Utah. They're better than Utah. They're better than Portland. I'm sorry, they're better than Portland. So that's 3. New Orleans will be the one that kind of. Okay, so there's a chance. They're in that 11 to 9 range. So I'm saying there's a chance. Man, the West is solid this year.
So, ladies and gentlemen, my co-host here, my co-host Tony Tone, one of the most logical people that I've ever met in my life, right? So he definitely does not deal in feelings. He deals in facts and he deals in logic. So everything that he said to me, it's going to be one of those teams that people aren't talking about. Okay, it's one of those teams that people aren't talking about. Because why? Because one of those teams that people are talking about, they're going to end up getting banged up. So let's rewind for a second, Tone. I don't know if you're aware of this, but Dominican Dirk, he'll be 40 years old this season. Okay. In addition to Dominican Dirk being 40 years old, Steph Curry turns 38 years old in March. Not only does Steph Curry turn 38 years old in March, Draymond Green is 36 years old. Jimmy Butler just turned 36 years old this season. Now, you just told me that this team, we might ask Jimmy Butler to give us a little bit more. Tone, you just told me about the Western Conference being stacked. You know what that means? That means there ain't really no nights off in the Western Conference. We don't have 2 weeks to just not get it done, because we can very well go from hosting a playoff series as the number 3 seed to fighting for our playoff lives and being the 8th seed and getting possibly bounced in the play-in tournament. With that being said, let's bring it back to what you just talked about, Tone, when you told me that there's going to be a team that gets injured. Who is more likely in this playoff scenario? So I'm going to run down a group for you, Tone. Oklahoma City, yes or no?
No, they're deep.
Okay. Denver, yes or no?
No, but they're a team that is hinged on one player. Yeah. And again, I don't wish this upon anybody, but if Jokic gets hurt, they're done.
Well, I think that
I don't care how many people they brought in. No. That team is very much, it's Jokic or bust. So so as much as I think they're one of those teams that one injury.
Well, I can say that. I can say that about every last one of these crews. To be
100%. But I think more so than them, more so Denver than any other team. More so Denver than any other team. But continue. Go on.
Houston. I'm gonna make sure, Tone, which team is more likely. I ain't saying which team is going to. Which team is more likely? That's where I want to stay. Right?
I would say Houston is a huge question mark. They already lost their starting point guard for the season.
Done.
So that's done. Kevin Durant, you're talking about age. Kevin Durant's what? 136.
He just turned 36. It's
not like he's a solid 120 pounds. He is a very skinny 120 pounds, and he's had. Although he's been better since, but he's had there's some injury history there, so that's a question mark. Healthy, right. But that is an injury question. So question mark.
Sure. Okay, so the Lakers. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. Dallas again. Starting point guard is out. They are hinged on Anthony Davis, who's he used to call him day to day for a reason. Yeah.
So that's a team with championship aspirations. When you look at that roster, healthy, they're not healthy.
Yep. Now, with that being said, with this Dallas squad,
Clay's another guy, right? He's 100.
Yes, he is, and
a lot of question marks there. Again, and
with the health question marks here, we do have a team that is, from what you just told me, Tone, with Joker, it sounds like with Dallas, it hinges on this one guy. That's what it sounds like. Okay, so keep going. The Lakers.
I think we're good.
You think the Lakers are good? How about
the Lakers? No, I will never put that juju on. The Lakers are good.
Absolutely. Okay, how about Buffalo?
Buffalo's a huge question mark.
We already know who they are. Okay, so Buffalo. All right. So with Buffalo, how about San Antonio?
San Antonio, their best two players missed half of the season last year.
Missed half the season last year and are coming back healthy. And they don't have a history of injury, but this is them.
They're Wemby's in year 3.
Yes, sir.
And
That makes it even better.
So he has a hit. So in essence, he does have a history because he only has 2 years, and he's been hurt. He got hurt both.
And this situation with Wemby, just so we clear, Olajuwon had this in year 5, and he never had a problem with this again. We never heard about this.
Year 5. This is your okay.
So,
but even still, last year they what did they win? 34 games. You think they're going to go to 50? Because you said 50 to make the playoffs.
I think it's going to take. I think we can have 8 teams win 50 games this year. Yes,
right. So you think they're going to be one of the 50 win teams?
San Antonio, I think it's possible that they can. I think them. I think them, and then I move to the Trailblazers because Scoot's going to be out for 2 months because he's got a torn hamstring.
I already have the bet. I still have it written down right here. With Trista, I think you're all way too high on the Trailblazers.
Right. So Memphis. Now Zach Edey's. I think Zach Edey's out of the lineup. I think Brandon Clark is out of the lineup, and it's early now, Tone. Remember, it's early now. Zach Edey and Brandon Clark are out of the lineup. How do you feel about Memphis?
I like Memphis. They were knocking on the door of 50 wins last season, and I think you're getting Ja in now the loss of Desmond Bane.
Yep.
Well, how does that affect them? So
I don't think it affects them as much because I do think that they get KCP back. They're going to lose that shooting that they had from Desmond Bane, but I do think that they get some shooting back, and I think that they get back. I think they get back a solid defender.
They might be net 0. Right, they were 48 last year. They might be 48 again this year. So okay.
I think between 40, I think they can win anyway. I think they miss in the playoffs too. And that's just me. Okay, so then we have the Warriors. Now, all of those people that you just told me about, Tone, that are potentially get injured. Okay, this Warriors team that's healthy right now. What doomed them? Curry got banged up late.
Sure. Yeah,
Jimmy Butler got banged up late, and we're talking about a Western Conference where it may take 50 wins to get into the playoffs. With it taking these many wins to get into the playoffs, this is a team that there aren't going to be many nights off, which means that we're going to have to beat the teams that we should beat. So that means no losses to Brooklyn, Tone. We can't lose to Charlotte, right? We can't have Washington come in here and beat us. Teams like Utah, we can't be in dog fights with them. If we're going to make the playoffs in the Western Conference, we have to beat the teams that we're supposed to beat. Now, with that being said, I got an older team. With having an older team, I got to manage these guys. Now, I got a pretty competent roster because I got Gary Payton back. I got Moody back.
They're very, very deep.
Yeah, I got
very deep.
Now, remember, before we add Jimmy Butler to this roster, we had a lot of these guys on the roster last year. And Seth Curry if I'm not mistaken, I think Seth is older than Steph. I think that's his younger brother. If I'm not mistaken.
Seth is the younger brother, is he not?
Okay, so I thought Steph was.
Yeah. So if Steph gets hurt, no problem. Seth comes.
Good luck with that. So good luck with that. Right. So with that being said, is it ridiculous for me to think that this Warriors team that's going to need night in and night out Steph Curry, night in and night out Jimmy Butler, night in and night out Draymond Green?
That's where I disagree. That's where I disagree. Is I don't think they're going to need night in and night out, because I think what they've done is they've put together a roster where you're going to get even if you go floor on Jimmy Butler, Steph Curry. I'm not really looking at Draymond Green, to be honest with you. Although last year at the end of the season, right, a lot of people were talking about his defense. Still, just was they were talking defensive player, all first defensive player. So I'm not even looking. I'm saying Jimmy Butler floor, Steph Curry floor. You're gonna get good nights from good shooting nights from Seth. You're gonna get good games from Gary Payton. You're gonna get games from those guys. So I don't think you need Steph to be 30 a night Steph to win games. And when I look at the West, and this is, remember what I said they have to stay healthy, and one other team needs to just have a falling out. So when I look at their roster makeup, like I said, I think they're better than the Jazz. I think they're better than the Pelicans. I think they're better than the Trailblazers. I think they're better than the Suns. And I think they're better than Sacramento construction-wise. So that's 5 teams. All it needs is for them to be better than those 5 teams, or one team to have an unlucky thing. And I think they're. Remember, I'm not saying that we're talking NBA championship. I'm saying
no. We're just talking about making the playoffs. That's it. We're just talking about making the playoffs.
So can they finish with a better record than Utah, New Orleans, Portland, Phoenix, and Sacramento? I think they can. But a lot of things have to go right.
Now, mind you, what you just said, Tony, you said top 10. You already know how I feel about the play-in tournament.
Well,
that means that I got to play. That means that I got to play my way into the playoffs. So if we end up with the 9th seed, if we end up with the 10th seed, I still got to play my way into the playoffs,
100%.
which the Warriors have shown you in the past. They have not been good in the play-in tournament. They ended up playing themselves in last year, but in the past, they have not been good in the play-in tournament, which is a detriment to them. I say that to say, I don't think Steph Curry, and again, I want to make sure that I'm clear on this, Tone. I'm not saying Steph Curry has to be 30 a night. What I am saying, though, is with the Western Conference being what it is this season, with the amount of talent and us seeing the Western Conference for what it's been over the years, where I could go from 3 to being in a play-in tournament in less than a week. I need availability more than anything. I need you guys to be available. And a guy like Steph Curry, I don't need 30 a night, but you know what I do need? I need you to be available. I don't need Jimmy Butler to be 30 a night, but I do need Jimmy Butler on the floor, because we have a team that if we lose 3 or 4 in a row, or if we lose 4 out of 6, we can find ourselves on the outside looking in. And I think because this is an older team, and with the injury history that they've had, not just with Jimmy Butler, who, by the way, Tone, I think last season caps 11 years straight where he's averaged 60 games. If I'm missing 22 games on average from Jimmy Butler, who, by the way, is getting older, if I'm missing 22 games, that's a lot of games in the Western Conference where we're trying to make the playoffs.
Okay. Jonathan Kuminga slides in.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
What do you think's more likely then? What do you think's more likely? The Warriors or the Heat? Because Bam Adebayo says, we got a chance. How much of a chance does Jimmy's old team have, realistically?
Okay, so
you're down there. You're down there. You're around Miami.
I'm not a delusional Miami Heat fan, though, right? I
know, but you hear those guys down there. You're close.
Yes, and remember where we are, Tone. It's September, right? It's September, so there's a lot of optimism going on right now. There's a lot of all 29 teams in the league are excited about the season because they all think, we got an opportunity to make the playoffs. We got an opportunity to go deep into the postseason. I'm on record saying to you that this, if I'm not mistaken, this Miami Heat team with Tyler Hero healthy, I think they're a league guard away from really challenging in the Eastern Conference. I love the fact that Bam has moved to the 4. I love the fact that Khalil Ware is turning into something special at the 5. I love Andrew Wiggins at the 3, and I want Tyler Hero playing the 2 guard, even though I always thought that he was a rotation guy. But if we're going to play him, when you talk about being a contender, and Davion Mitchell isn't it because he doesn't score enough at the league guard spot. You and I have had this conversation more than once, Tone, more than twice, when we're talking about being a point guard in today's game. You have to be able to score. You don't have to average 30. You don't have to average 25, but 13, 14 a game, that's not enough. No, that's not going to get it done. No, if we're trying to compete for the NBA championship.
Today's point guard is shoot first, ask questions last. So you do have to be. There is no. I really, someone said this, and when I said yes, I agreed that it was the death of the point guard. Everybody jumped on me and they're like, I'm like, no, please understand. Listen to what I'm saying. When we say the death of the point guard, we're saying the death of the traditional point guard, the guy who's going to score, like you said, 12, 14 a night, but give you 8, 9, 10 assists. That person's gone. Now a point guard has to give you, 18 to 22, right? And you'll give up some of those assists. It might be 6, it might be 8, right? That's not to say that it always means it's going to win, right? Because you got a guy like Trae Young who scores a bunch of points and gets a bunch of assists, but it hasn't led to win. So there's it's just a different point guard. But when we say the point guard is dead, we're talking specifically the traditional point guard is dead. Let me just go back to the Warriors for a second, because G Cuts says, if this team, he's talking about the Warriors, was 5 years younger. Yeah, they're 5 years younger. This team. We're talking about this team going to the NBA playoffs.
Steph Curry at 33 years old. Jimmy Butler at he's 25 years. He's 29 years old. Draymond Green's 29. Yes, I'm all for that. I'm looking at the landscape of the Western Conference. I'm all for that. I'm all my chips are pushed to the front of the table. If you're asking me that this team can make the NBA championship, if they 5 years younger, I'd say the same thing about the Clippers. Even though Buffalo is Buffalo, Tone, and Buffalo is gonna Buffalo. Let's be clear about that. But if this was 5 years ago, with that roster, with Bradley Beal and Leonard and James Harden, right, and Zubac and all of those guys, yes, I'm so with that. Absolutely. But it's not, unfortunately. This is a crew. This is a Golden State Warriors team that's super long in the tooth. Steph Curry ended up breaking down last year in the playoffs, not because somebody hurt him. He broke down, Tone, because he's old. That's the problem. And we get so wrapped up in wanting these guys to be around forever. Newsflash, Warrior fans, Steph Curry's not going to be around forever. LeBron James is not going to be around forever. Leonard, James Harden, Damian Lillard, these guys are not going to be around forever. They're not. And they're not what they used to be, unfortunately. I'm not just saying I don't think that the Golden State Warriors are missing the playoffs because I don't like them. I'm looking at what they have. Tone, this is a young man's league. And our core, this is a young man's league. Yes, sir. This is a young man's league. And would it be in a young man's league, you have to have young legs. And
I don't feel that's true, though.
A young man, you don't think so, Tone? That this is not a young man's league? Are you serious?
No. Who's the best? Who's the best player in the NBA?
Today, it's I think it's SGA.
Okay, who's number 2?
Joker.
Plays like an old man. Who's number 3?
Giannis.
Who's number 4?
Luka.
Plays like an old man.
Yep. 26 years old.
Who's the team? Yeah, but he plays like an old
26 years old.
When you say young man, I think of athletic, like fast pace, and I'm like, no, I don't think this is. I think today's game, you can be an older, less athletic guy and be okay.
Like, Tone, this is the comment right here that I'm talking about when I talk about Warriors fans. This one right here. Are you serious? Are you kidding me right now?
Well, do you feel he has shown a big decline?
Yes! He's not the same dude he was 2 years ago. He's not the same dude he was 3 years ago. He's not. See, when people, Tony, if you remember what happened with them in 22, like when they won the NBA championship, a lot of people talk about how good Steph Curry was. Number one, that was his worst season statistically, right? That was his worst season statistically when winning NBA championships. He shot his lowest field goal percentage. He shot his lowest percentage from the floor. And he got hurt going into the playoffs. But everybody looks at the fact that he got busy in the finals, that, Steph Curry was that dude. No, he wasn't.
But they won.
Not great. They did win.
Winning is bad. It doesn't matter how you win.
And I'm glad you brought that up, Tone. They did win. That was 3 years ago, going on 4 years. This is a different Steph Curry. This is a different Jimmy Butler. This is a different Draymond Green. That's where I'm going with this. I'm going with the fact that these guys are long in the tooth.
But you agree that roster is better than at least 4 or 5?
I agree that on paper, this roster should. I agree that this roster on paper could make the playoffs. I don't think they're going to hold up though.
So we agree they could make the playoffs. Staying in the East, so Miami delusional. Do you agree that they're delusional, Miami? They don't have a shot at a championship because I think that's
they don't. No.
Thanks, Big Ox. Appreciate you reposting the stream. Jason Tatum, we saw him working out. Kendrick, your guy, Kendrick Perkins, believes the Boston Celtics will still be good without Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum, I'm giving you a double here. Jason Tatum said, I ain't working out not to come back and play. And what did I tell you from the day he got hurt? All-Star break. Remember I said All-Star break. And you said, Tone, you're crazy. And I said All-Star break. If Jason Tatum, who can keep this team around 500 in this East, can do it up until the All-Star break and they bring Jason Tatum back, this is the favorite team to make the NBA Finals.
This is a terrible idea. Oh my god. This is you. You talking to me.
They're 500 come All-Star break, and Jason Tatum comes back healthy. They have a chance at making the NBA final in that East.
This is you, Tone. This is I'm you last year sitting here. I'm you last year, and you're me trying to sell you the Philadelphia 76ers. I'm selling you, I'm selling you Philly, and you, Jay, stop. This team is going to be awful. Tone, you are ridiculous. They're going to be, and then months later, I come to find out the 76ers are a used dress from the Goodwill spot. They're with holes in it. Come to find out, Tone, you couldn't have been more right. The Jason Tatum saga with him actually running 4 months later, 4 months later, he's running. The last thing that the Boston Celtics want to do is have this guy re-injure that Achilles. Because let's remember, Tone, we just paid him $300 million. So if we already lost him last year for the playoffs, to lose him again and risk re-injuring this thing again, no. Not only are we not doing that, what we also doing, Tone, is we're underrating how good the Eastern Conference is in terms of the playoff teams. I don't
think we are at all. I think if I look at their White, Simons, Brown, Porzingis, some combination of Hauser, Cornette, my guy Chris Boucher, this team is a 8th seed in this East.
So
then if you throw in a Jason Tatum after the All-Star break, that team goes on a run. So
with this Eastern Conference being, which I think I definitely think that you're reaching on this, Tone. With this team, let's just say for the sake of argument, we got a team in the Western Conference. They lose their starting 5-man in Porzingis. They lose their starting 4-man in Al Horford. They lose their point guard in Drew Holiday, and they lose their best player. Which team is making the playoffs doing that? In a conference where the playoff teams are a lot better than we're giving them credit for, Tone. I'm telling you right now, that Cavs team is the real deal. That Knicks team is the real deal. That Orlando team is the real deal. That Atlanta team, that Detroit team. I think Milwaukee's going to be good. I think Miami's going to be good. I think that Toronto team is going to be good. All of these teams, all of these teams, I think are going to be a lot better than we give them credit for. On top of that, my co-host here, Tony Tone, he is a businessman. And one thing that he always told me, and I still stand on this to this day, Tone, when you fail,
okay, you fail fast.
So really quickly, Tone. Really quickly, Tone.
Okay.
When you fail fast. When we get to opening night, let's say the first month and a half of this season, this team is below 500. Then we get to Christmas, and there are 3-4 games under 500. By the time we get to January and we're still under 500, they pulling the plug on this thing. No, they pulling the plug.
100%. I said I believe that Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Chris Boucher, Simons, I think those 4, and then whatever pieces they throw in there if they're good enough to keep it 500 by the All-Star break, and then you bring in Tatum, that team becomes a very scary team in the East. Because who is significantly better that is proven in the playoffs that they should be like deathly afraid of? And the answer is nobody. Because the best teams are the Pacers, who lost their starting point guard, the Knicks, who have a new coach, and their big man. Oh yeah, right. They lost their 1 and their 5. The Knicks, who now have a new coach, who, let's be honest, we love Mike Brown, but it's Mike Brown.
That bounced Boston, by the way, last season.
Yeah, 100%. But new coach, who knows, with the new system, taking the ball out of Jalen Brunson's hand, like they're going to do different things. It might be better, it might be worse. We don't know. It might be the same. Orlando's unproven. Cleveland keeps being the number 1 seed, but I know you say this is their year, but they haven't proven they can do it in the playoffs yet. So as far as a proven team that can that there isn't one. So all I'm saying is, if the team is good enough to be 500 by the All-Star break, you throw in Jason Tatum, that team has a chance. I'm not picking them. I'm saying they have a chance.
Good luck.
You just made the list.
All right. This we talked. You brought up this team a couple of times. So let me I want to bring up their starters first, and then I'm going to bring up their bench. And I'm going to ask you a question. If this bench was in it, okay, so first let's bring up the starters. James Harden.
Good.
They look good?
They look good. They look really good. They
Is
do.
this the best starting lineup in the NBA?
On the surface,
Yeah,
this
on
looks
paper, on
real.
paper.
On the surface, this looks fantastic. But this is one of those things, Tone, where Tone is, again, ladies and gentlemen, my co-host here is a businessman. And what he's trying to do is he's trying to get me to sign this contract. He don't want me to go over it, right? He just wants me to sign the contract, and he's showing me the beginning of the contract, all of the front-loaded money. What he's not showing me is on the back end of this deal, I'm probably going to get like 20% of what I'm supposed to get. And this Clipper team on the front end, they look fantastic. Leonard looks great. Bradley Beal, James Harden. They got a steal in this kid Collins. And Zubac, who one of the better defensive bigs in the game. They look great. Here's the question. How about the dude in the middle, Tone? Is he going to hold up?
I don't think he should even be playing in the league. Yes, you missed the Kuminga talk. Here's their bench. CP3.
On paper. Chris Dunn.
It was really funny. So I said to Fluent Jr., I go, who are these 5 guys? And he goes, ball knowledge, Dad. And he's like, that's CP3, Chris Dunn, Derek White, Nicholas Batum, and Lopez. And I'm like, what the hell? Because I'll be honest with you. Chris Dunn was the one I was like, and he's like, Chris Dunn. I'm like, yeah. It came to me eventually. But anyways, put this team as the starting 5 in the East. Are we having a discussion about them making the playoffs?
Yes, we are having a discussion about them making the playoffs. Yes, we are.
This is their second unit.
Yes. And here's the problem, though, because on paper, it looks great. But the guy with the ball, he's going to be 41 in February. The guy on the end.
I didn't say Derek White. I said Derek. Oh, did I say Derek White? I'm sorry, Derek Jones.
Derek Jones.
I know it's Derek Jones. Yes, we were talking about Boston a minute ago. Yes.
The guy on the end, Lopez, definitely long in the tooth. Not only is he long in the tooth, Nick Batum, he's 39. So 60% of this roster is made up of guys long in the tooth. This 5 right here.
This 5 is better than Sacramento's starting 5, Vox.
No, it's not. No, it is not.
Come up, bud.
Oh my goodness. Hell no, absolutely not. On paper, this looks like a
what is stopping this team?
Age. Age is what's stopping them because they're going to break down. That's what's going to happen to this crew. Because if we've seen the one thing that I've seen, I can't speak for everybody, but the one thing that I've seen throughout the course of the season, the healthiest team at the end of the season usually wins. Indiana proved with what happened to Tyrese Halliburton. If he doesn't break down, they end up. I think they got a real shot at winning the NBA championship. If Jimmy Butler doesn't get hurt against Houston, even though they still beat them, if he's 100% against Minnesota, I think they got a shot. Steph Curry breaks down. Minnesota moves on. Right? So when you're talking about being able to stay healthy, Oklahoma City stayed the healthiest out of everybody. The reason why they got by Denver, Aaron Gordon couldn't hold up. That was the difference. If Aaron Gordon holds up, I'm not sure if Oklahoma City beats them. In fact, I think that they can beat Oklahoma City. That's why I really like Denver this season. As much as I like Oklahoma City, in a 7-game series against Denver, I really like them. Yes, I do, Tone. I'd be lying if I said I didn't. I really like them. So this Clipper team, as good as they look on paper, and those pictures that you just showed me, they look fantastic, Tone. The difference is, are they going to hold up? And you guys try to sell me the logic on James. James is 40 years old. Here's the difference. That Laker team, and I can't believe I'm saying this about the Lakers because Tone's a Laker guy. That Laker team, their core isn't a bunch of old guys. They got one old guy. That's James. One. They don't got a bunch of old guys. The Clippers got a bunch of old guys. That's the problem. The Golden State Warriors got a bunch of old guys. The Lakers got one old guy. That's it. And the rest of them dudes are younger guys. Austin Reeves, young guy. Luka, young guy. I mean, I could keep going. DeAndre Ayton, young guy. They got a bunch of young guys and one really old guy.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I don't know why this is a story. Is it a story? Wemby grew another inch.
Yes. Yes, sir.
I drank a beer.
I don't. My friend would say, Wemby. What was he? 7'3", and now he's 7'4". And
Yes.
you know what? You know what I say?
We do not care.
Why isn't this a big deal, Tone?
Who cares?
Well, if
He's
I'm
going to
bigger,
shoot better.
yeah, this changes.
He's going to shoot better because he's an inch taller.
Okay, well,
And is it really an inch because he was listed at 7'3"? What if he was 7'3" and 6'8" or 7'8"?
I think he's up to like 7'5" now, Tone.
No. Well, who knows what the hell he really is? But he was listed at 7'3".
Yes,
and now he's listed at 7'4", and I think they measured him 7'3" when he had shaved his head and went and joined the monks, and now he grew his hair back, so maybe that's why he's 7'4". Who cares? Like, does that make a difference? Like, it's not like, okay, he's going from 5'11" to 6 foot, which somehow that makes a difference, but he's going 7'3" to 7'4".
Yes, or to 7'5". And
I don't care if
of all,
he's 7'6". It doesn't change his game.
it does though, Tone,
He's
because
gonna
again,
take a leap. He's going to take a leap because of other things. He's not going to take a leap because he grew an inch or half an inch or a quarter of an inch.
that doesn't help at all. The fact
No.
that I'm an inch taller,
Not at that height. No.
Wow,
No.
I mean, getting not just getting to the rim, but being around the rim,
No.
being a rim protector, being a
No.
scorer around the rim,
No.
scoring in the mid post. Because it is, last I checked, on it is a game of inches. So if I'm 7'4" and I'm 7'5" now, I got a little bit more height on my jump shot. And now instead of you being here, now you're here when you're trying to block it, and you can't get to it at all. Instead of me being here trying to get rebounds, now I'm actually getting rebounds. Instead of me being here trying to block shots.
Hold on. No one said anything about his wingspan or his standing reach or any of those things.
Nobody has said anything about his standing reach.
What if his vertical's an inch shorter? Net zero.
It could be. That's possible. But
It's him growing an inch. I don't think it's a story when you're 7'4".
I do. I mean, when we already live in a space. We already live in a space where this is a big man's game. If I can be even bigger.
Let me ask you. You tell everybody you're 6'3", right? And you lie because you're actually 7'4". Did that change your game?
It did make me a little bit more relevant on the block.
Stop.
It did make me a little bit more.
Kevin Durant swears he's 6'10", and we all know he's 7 foot. There's no change. I don't think it's a story. That's just me. But okay. We got a super chat, which you know I love my super chats. Lee says, I know we're a little late in the season. Late in the season? It's only week 4. Your 49ers screwed me out of my suicide. How they didn't beat the Jags out of one of my suicide leagues, where you pick one team every week, and I will never forgive you, not them, you if you're over there, depending on what side of the screen you're on, you for what is wrong with that team?
We had them dudes beat, Tone. We did. We got the ball back, I believe, in the fourth quarter with 3.5 minutes, and we were down a touchdown. We had them dudes beat because I thought that we were going to march. The first play from scrimmage, Brock turns the ball over. You can't beat anybody when your quarterback. Forget the rest of the crew. When your quarterback turns the ball over 4 times, we got no shot. I thought Jacksonville did a great job in making us turn the ball over. I thought they did a good job in stopping the run. I said to you before the season started that I think I'm going to get 12 games, maybe 14 games, 12 to 14 games out of Christian McCaffrey. And with that being said, the way that they run him, I'm not sure that I'm going to get more than 14 games. And I thought that Jacksonville did a great job of stuffing the A gap. I thought they did a great job in getting to him in the backfield. On top of getting to him in the backfield, they did a great job in spying on him and slowing him down in the flat, making Brock Purdy rush and throwing into ill-advised spaces. That's why we lost.
Can you finally admit to me that Brock Purdy is a bum.
No, I'm not admitting that he's a bum. No, I'm not doing that because I think he's really good. I just don't. He's not Patrick Mahomes good.
Well, Patrick
not
Mahomes.
Dak Prescott. He's not Joe Burrow good, right? He's
not
not Lamar
Carson
Jackson
Wentz
good.
good.
No, he's not that good. No, he's not. I don't think he's Justin Herbert good. No, I don't think he's
not
that
Carson
good.
Wentz
But I
good.
do. He's better
He's
than
not
Carson
Caleb
Wentz.
Williams.
Yes,
He's not Caleb Williams good.
He's definitely better. Well, I'm not going to say. I think he's better than CJ Stroud, though. Yes, he is. He's definitely.
He's not Baker Mayfield good.
I think he's better than Butter.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I need a name. I need a name for Brock Pooty. Brock Poo-Pooty. Brock Poo-Poo. He stinks.
Yeah.
Speaking of stinks, this stinks. If you're a Dolphins fan, if you're a Tyreek Hill fan, the only person this doesn't stink for is Wives of America. Tyreek Hill tore multiple ligaments in his dislocated knee, including his ACL, ending his season and giving him a long road ahead. They're talking about surgery where he might not even be back for 2026. Is his career done?
How old is Tyreek Hill?
I personally think too old to come back from this injury.
I mean, his game was predicated on athleticism and speed. That's his game. His nickname is the Cheetah. And a lot of the stuff that he does, go routes, right? Because he's so much faster. Okay, he's 31 years old. And I think that he can come back, but I don't think he's going to be what he was. Because again, a lot of his stuff, go routes, quick slants, where he's underneath the defense and beating guys to the first down marker, getting mismatches, end up getting a bigger corner on him where he could blow by him. Tone, I think that he's in a space where it's going to be hard to come back from this and be the same guy that he was. I think he's something like that. So I'm not saying that his career is over, but I think the days of the Cheetah, I think them days are over.
Well, if he doesn't have his speed, like that if that's the defining thing in your game, it's like okay, Steph Curry can't shoot anymore.
It's gonna be hard, yeah. Like
what
else is he really
I'm not
good
saying
for?
he can't play anymore, but if you take away Steph shooting, we have a problem. Houston.
That's his superpower. Yeah. That's his superpower.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is his superpower. And the fact that that's over and you don't have that anymore. Okay, what other traits does he have? He's not a great blocking wide receiver. He's a good route runner. He's more of a deep ball threat more than he is any of those other things. With that being said, though, Tone, now that that's over, what does that leave us with? That leaves us with a guy who's not really physical underneath. He uses his speed more than anything, and playing with a quarterback like Tua, who, again, will destroy your confidence as a wide receiver. It's going to be difficult for me to see him getting back to where he was.
I think he's done. I think the Jets are done. And Sauce Gardner getting saucy.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
He says he feels he gets flagged more often because the team isn't winning. He believes players on winning teams get away with egregious penalties. Do you agree?
Tony, is there some validity to this? What I'm thinking about, because one, he plays in a major market and with the Jets, and playing in a major market, I'd like to think that with you being on TV as much as they are, and not only with you being on TV as much as they are, I mean, with the amount of fanfare that they have, I think that there will be a little bit more lenient with guys like that, as opposed to if you were in Minnesota or if you were in Seattle. I mean, I think New York is a bigger market than what's going on in Atlanta, right? So if he's saying this, is there some validity to this?
I think in every sport there is, and sometimes it's bigger than others, but in every sport, better teams, better players do get the benefit of the doubt. And it's because, well, when you see a team, able to win, when you see a player who's able to make miraculous shots, you tend to think you give them a benefit of the doubt that if they miss a pretty standard shot and someone was close, they're like, okay, that's probably a foul, right? If you see a team that runs great routes and is a disciplined team, and another team that gets a lot of penalties, it does tend to snowball. And it's like they could call holding on every single play in the NFL, as an example. And a team that who does it more and gets called for it more, it will snowball, and they'll continue to get it called more. Versus a team that you're like, you remember back in the Bill Belichick days, right? They're like, oh, that's a disciplined team. They don't get penalized a lot on the O-line, and so you give them the benefit of the doubt that, oh, that one was close. Yeah, I know that they're really good. I'm not going to give it to him. So is he wrong? No. Is he exaggerating? Probably, right? Like egregious seems a little bit much, but yeah, I would say bad teams, and it's unfortunate, but I think it's human nature. It's human.
And I think to add to your point, you do foul. Now, you might not get away with as much as you'd like to get away with, but there are some things that, you're handsy. You grab jerseys too. You trip guys up. Yeah, you might be sitting on routes because you do your homework. Sure, you are. However, with that being said, you also bump guys at the line of scrimmage. You also do hold after 5 yards. You are not allowing me to run my routes. Now, they might be looking at you a little bit more. So it's kind of like the gift and the curse, because I play in a major market. They look at me a little bit more, but I am giving them reason to do that. Like,
hey, can I ask you a question? Have you ever been on ESPN?
I have been on ESPN before.
I've been on ESPN. Hey, Bongi, have you been on ESPN? The fuck out of here.
Yeah,
all right.
I've been on ESPN.
Moving on.
More than once, by the way.
That's what I was gonna say. I do it all the time. ESPN radio. Actually, ESPN. I have a voice for. I clearly have a face for radio. So that's probably why they asked me back on radio more than on TV. But I can say that about myself. I want to go. I'm going to stick with football because you asked me what the hell was this, and I want to discuss it because your guy.
What's going on here?
So he recently reminded people that in 2012 or 2013, a few minutes ago, that Pete Carroll had invited him to Hawks camp and even sent him a jersey, and he had, and thank you, JE, and he had the LeBron. We gotta think of a verb for LeBronisms. To think that he was being offered a spot on the team, and I was thinking about retiring and going and play foot. What?
No.
He is delusional. As great of a basketball player he is delusional. Because I want you to know something. Pete Carroll invited him to camp, much like the Mets invited Garth Brooks to spring training. He was not going to be on the team.
No. Okay? It was all for show.
Master P? Make them say, nah.
Yeah.
He was not going to make the Raptors, but they let him come out and try out. Like he was trying.
And remember too, Tone, it's very much like with Jordan playing baseball. If we remember, James, you had was it 2012 or 2013 when he was talking about him, like inviting him to camp. James, you hadn't played football in 10 years, and the last time he played football was in high school.
Yeah. He was really great. I think sophomore, I don't think he played past his sophomore year. Maybe he played his junior year, and he was good.
He was an all-state player.
He was great. Even. But it's fair. Listen, I played really well in high school too.
Yeah, he played.
I ain't going like.
No,
it's just ridiculous.
No,
I told you with the preseason with the Sixers. There you go. Like, is he just joking? Does he know? Is he doing it to just?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, if
he knows it's not real, like he know. I want to say he knows it's not real, right?
If you look at the landscape of the NFL, like I heard Bart, what's his name? Bart that works for ESPN talking about he would have knocked LeBron. First of all, LeBron James is 6'8", 250 pounds. You ain't knocking nobody out. Shut your little ass.
Okay, let's stop. Whoa. Let's stop that right there. No. Because that's where I disagree with you. That's where I disagree with you. Your size does not mean you can or can't get knocked out, because I have seen, and you have seen, we've been to enough bars and seen enough bar fights that you've seen a little 5'6" dude square up on a 6'6", 280-pound dude, and that dude has a glass jaw and knock him out with one punch. So I'm not going to say just because he's big, he's not. It's a different game.
It is. I'm not going to argue that.
LeBron James cramps up playing basketball. What's going to happen when he goes up for a reception and someone takes him out at the knees, right? Like, you don't know that that's just because he's big. He could get knocked out. I just think playing in high school doesn't mean that you could play NFL. That's like everybody who watches basketball and watch it. Oh, I could do that. No, you can't. No, you can't. Right? Oh, I can shoot like Steph. No, you can't. So that's all I'm saying. I'm saying LeBron has a little bit of, I did this once upon a time, so I can do this. And I don't think he's a football player personally.
If he would have stuck with it, I think that we got action. I do. I think that if he
played through high school, through college,
I definitely think we got action. No doubt about that. But to be able to not play 10 years. I haven't played in 10 years. Not only have I not played in 10 years, the last competitive football that I played was in high school. I don't think so.
What I'm telling, so for the people in the comments, you're telling me he couldn't play tight end. I'm telling you, a guy who hasn't played tight end in 20 years or more, actually more than 20 years, could not step onto an NFL field. I don't care how big and strong and athletic they are. No, he could not walk onto an NFL field and play NFL football. No. Now, to your point, had he continued to play football throughout high school, because he was like you said, all state, because he played through college, did all those things, then we're having a different conversation. 100%. None of you can not play a sport for 20 plus years and think you can step into the professional arena and play. I don't care if you're LeBron James. I don't care if you're Michael Jordan trying to play baseball. I don't care who you are. Okay, this is not LeBron hate. This is reality, because get Fluent off the stage. Oh, here, how about I do this?
Hold on, wait. Don't.
Bye. This is my stage. My stage, Bongi. Bye.
Well, because he just said something ridiculous about Darren Waller. He just said something ridiculous about Darren Waller making rap songs. Darren Waller has not been removed from the NFL for 10 years. He still played football a year ago.
20.
He had not.
Think of the things you did.
College football on a competitive level. He hadn't played in 10 years. 10. And now you're telling me he's going to step on an NFL field and play tight end? You know what that tells me? If you're telling me he can do that, maybe the NFL ain't as good as I think it is.
Oh, then they should shut down the NFL. If a 41-year-old man who hasn't played football in 20, hold on, let's do the math. He would have been 17 the last time he played.
Yep.
So that is 24 years ago. So you're telling me something you did I'll give it junior, because I don't know if it was sophomore or junior. Something you did as a junior in high school, 24 years later, you think you can do it? You're delusional.
No.
That's all I'm saying. And he's having fun at your expense, because there's idiots like Bongi Bong, who's probably smoking too much of that Bongi Kong, who thinks like that he could do it because he's my hero and he's my glorious king, that he can do anything. That just makes you sound dumb. So there you go, Bongi smoking on a Bongi Kong. Bongi Bong. Let's go to the WNBA for a moment. Hello, sir. How are you?
Yo, what up, nephew?
Love you.
What's going on, brother?
Hello.
What's up, brother?
Good practice?
Yeah.
Good. My double A baseball player. Let me guess. If he stops playing baseball right now, in 24 years, he can go play in the majors because he's playing right now. Yeah. Okay. I think I want a new job.
What's that?
I want to be commissioner of the WNBA, because I've come to the conclusion that it is run by and you know, it's my favorite word, and everybody in the chat gets all teary-eyed about it. I think I should be commissioner of the WNBA because it's run by a bunch of morons.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tone, the current commissioner, they don't like her too much. They
Well,
ain't really that happy with her. That's what it sounds like to me. They ain't happy with her. They've just about had it with her. And this isn't just coming from one person. It sounds to me like it sounds like all of them are fed up with her.
Because she didn't just say Caitlin Clark. She said Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Bucker, everybody. They all should be grateful. They should all be grateful at the money they make off the court, because if it wasn't for the WNBA, they wouldn't be making anything. Speaking of delusional.
Oh my God. What is going on here? Tone?
I hate, what the hell? Hold on. Hold on. Let's hold on.
No, he doesn't. That's just not true.
You hate women. Where
do you get that from? Where are you getting that from?
I would love to hear more on that, because we're on a delusional train today, it seems like.
That's what it sounds like.
I love women. I am a husband and a father, girl, dad. Like, what the hell are you talking about?
Well, number one, he's married to a woman. That's number one. Number two, he's raising a woman. He's raising a girl to become a woman. So why? What are we doing here? What are you talking about?
These people today are delulu.
I would love to
let's stick to that for a second. So she really thinks that the WNBA, the players owe the WNBA for their, like, the ones that just came into the league for their fame.
Yes, sir. Like you should be the platform that we've given you, with the platform that we've given you to showcase your ability. You should be grateful to us for that.
Does she know how much NIL money? Does she know how much NIL money Angel Reese was making?
More than what she was making in the WNBA.
She took a pay cut to go to the WNBA.
Yes, she did. Now, okay, Tone. If we're being honest and we're telling the entire truth, there's truth on both ends. So, as the owner, I do give you the platform to showcase.
She's not the owner. She's the commissioner.
Well, what I'm saying is that as I'm running the league, yes. as I'm running the league, I do give you, or they give you, the platform to showcase your ability as an artist. Yes, they do. However, we both need each other. No artists, no league. But I also understand no art, no venue, no artists, right? But the people don't come to the venue without an artist. The people don't come, the artist doesn't come without a venue, right? I definitely get that part. But you as the commissioner, your job, let's get to the bottom of what your job is. Your job as the commissioner is to regulate things, not alienate people. And that's essentially what you sound like. She sounds like a police commissioner that's getting the cops in line. That's what she sounds like to me. Like, shut up and be happy that you got a job. That's what you need to do. You need to shut your mouth.
It's not the first time she said something like this. So I and I said this to you before. I said, with the growth of the WNBA, I think the deal that they took, they could have gotten better. I think the way that it's, I hate the way that they market. I hate everything about the NBA except the game. I think they have a good game. I think they need to stop comparing it to the NBA. I think they could market their players and their teams significantly better. I think there's way more money than they realize out there that they're missing out on, whether it be sponsorships, TV deals, et cetera, et cetera. Yep. And this just compounds it, right? Like you're about to go into a negotiation with the Players Association. Like, I mean, it is weeks away. I believe the contract ends the end of October, their current CBA. And that's how you want to go into it, like creating more friction, creating more resentment towards each other. I think it's a stupid PR move. It's a stupid marketing move. It's a horrible negotiating tactic. I think everything that this commissioner has done, we'll look back on and be like, if this doesn't work out, we're going to look back on and be like, if there's a lockout, heaven forbid there's a lockout,
you think that wrecks them, though?
It could. It'll take them. If you look at every other league, it took them years. Even like the NFL, the NBA. Every time there was a lockout, it took years to recover financially from the lockouts. And this, I don't know if the WA is not in a position right? If they were to lock out and that TV deal somehow they find a loophole to get out of that $11 billion deal, they're done. They're cooked, and we're going to look back at history and say
that deal's not coming back.
no, and we're going to look back on history and be like, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Was the commissioner not understanding the moment, right?
Yes.
Like we should understand that we are lucky to have, like, Asia Wilson should be a worldwide phenomenon, and 99% of the people don't even know who she is.
Right.
And she's a 4-time MVP who's the greatest. I'll put it out there. I'll say she's the greatest women's basketball ever in history. And we don't even know who she is. Like, not we know who she is, but most people don't know who she is. And that is a damn shame. And I think it's, they wanted the soap operas of Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark gets hurt. Now what? Right? You put all your eggs into that. And by the way, that was bad marketing too. You know what I mean? Like, even them, they should have made that. They could have made so much more money off of that natural I'm drawing a blank on the word that I'm trying to think of, that natural friction that they had coming out of college, right? Like the Bird Magic thing,
rivalry.
Right?
Yeah,
that rivalry. Thank you. Yeah. I don't know why I couldn't think of rivalry. That natural rivalry that they had, like Bird and Magic, they 100% could have used that better and didn't. And now also sucks, Chicago Sky, when Angel missed games, that team wasn't at the beginning of the season. Remember, they weren't very good. Then, this Caitlin Clark, that, the fever was great even without, so it was just, it was a bad all the way around, but marketing definitely sucked. Lee says, delusional detests focus and romance, provides the veil. Susan Finnemore. Delusion detests focus and romance, provides the veil.
Delusion detests it. You know what that means? Delusion is not even it's not even trying to hear focus. Like, delusion and focus are like oil and water. They just don't mix. Because if you're delusional, you're not focused. You are completely somewhere else. With that being said, I think that as the commissioner of the league, your job, I know you work for the owners. Let's be clear about that, Tone, because Roger Goodell, he works for the owners.
Yep.
Right? So what you are in the business of you're in the best interest of the owners, like the players, or as I would like to call them, the field hands. They're second to the owners. The owners are who I'm trying to appease. And if the owners tell me that they want something, they are who I'm going to talk to. They are who I want to deal with. You, on the other hand, like you go down the list. It's like being a police commissioner. I don't get to talk to the commissioner if I'm a regular cop. I got to go through specific channels to get to talk to him. And I feel like that's how the commissioner treats. I feel like that's how the commissioner treats these women. Like, you women, be quiet about what you want. And you're lucky
to have a league to play in.
That's exactly how she's treating them. Like, why are you even talking to me? Why are you even talking to me? That's ridiculous.
Is there some truth to that? There is a level of truth to, yes, they're lucky to have a league to play in the US so that they don't have to travel overseas.
Sure.
But most of them were making a better living overseas, in terms financially anyways. And
Asia Wilson could very well, if the nonsense that was going on overseas wasn't going on overseas, she can go overseas and make $1.5 million, $2 million. She could easily do that.
Yeah.
She could easily do that. But if I don't have to go to France, if I don't have to go to Belgium, if I don't have to go to Russia and do that, then I'm not doing that. No, if I can stay right here, like Caitlin Clark is, and making the Nike money that she's making, right? Making the All-State money that she's making on top of the WNBA money, there's no reason for me to go anywhere. None.
Look at this. Look at this. We've affected change. You and I have affected change.
How's that?
Right now, more breaking news. Thank you for sharing. More breaking news. Kathy Engelbert is likely to exit as WNBA Commissioner after CBA negotiations.
They're getting her out of there. No.
The quote says, she hasn't connected. She's not a relationship builder.
No, they're getting her out of there. No. Anyone
who said I was wrong, take that. Thank you for sharing context clues. Live breaking news. She should step down. Actually, I actually think she should step down now because I think the negotiations will go smoother if she's out. Personally,
And I don't, and I think that this is one of those situations. Tone, don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. Neither.
100.
Do not let the door hit you in your ass on the way out. Bye.
I believe every WNBA player will be singing.
Not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
When you make women when you make people feel less than when they're working their ass off to build something, when you make them feel less than, they don't want to deal with you.
No one should ever feel less than. Period.
Yes.
Just period.
Right.
There's no context, no additional explanation needed. That's the statement. Take it.
Sure.
Speaking of less than, how about more than? Anthony Edwards says the way he's going to keep himself motivated against lesser teams this season is he's just going to try and break some scoring records.
I love that. So I absolutely love that. You know what? This whack ass Utah team, I'm trying to put 50 on you guys tonight.
I played Charlotte tonight. Let me hit that 82.
I'm trying to get 60 on these dudes. I'm busting, yo. I gotta stay motivated somehow, right? On a Tuesday in January, we got Washington in town, right? On a Wednesday in early February or early in December. Who we got? We got Utah in town. Yeah, I'm trying to put 55, 60 on y'all because I gotta stay motivated.
I love that mentality as long as it doesn't affect team chemistry and winning games, right? Like, I don't care if he scores 80 and they lose. I'm going to be upset because this is a team that should have championship aspirations. Yeah.
I mean, I think that I feel like Anthony Edwards has taken that step last season. I think he took a leap, became a better long ball shooter, was arguably the best two guard in the game. I still think it's Donovan Mitchell, but I think that this guy right here is right there at the. I think this guy right here is right at the doorstep. With that being said, I think that this Minnesota team is gonna be a lot of trouble this season. I do. I think that I don't think they're gonna be great in the regular season. I think they're gonna be good enough to get in the playoffs. I think they're gonna be within that 6. Between that 5 and 7 range. I think that's where they're going to be. And I think Anthony Edwards is going to have a lot to do with that. Tone, I think he's going to be the best guard in the league. I'm in year 2 of my 5-year plan. I think he's going to be the best guard in the league. I think he's that good. And I think that this Minnesota team, when we have nights like when we have Utah in town, right? When we have nights when we got Brooklyn in town and he gets it going early, I don't think they're going to be looking at him like, no, let's get everybody else involved. No. You want to keep me engaged? Give me the ball. You want to keep me on the floor? Give me the ball. Yep, give me the ball. Absolutely.
Beautiful. What's beautiful? Oh, that's beautiful. I hear. Okay. Anthony Edwards says he got advice from Michael Jordan this summer. One of the ways that he is going to improve that scoring is he said he's been working on the mid-range. He's been working on a little post fade. How you feel about seeing Anthony Edwards hitting the midi and dropping down into the post and giving us a little Kobe and a little Mikey action?
I'd like to see him play off the ball a little bit more, but this right here, I think that's just going to add another dynamic to his game, and I think it's going to help him. I think it's going to make them a lot better because he has made the right plays a lot of times when I watch him playing with the ball, whether he's driving to the lane and he kicks it out when he gets double teamed, or 1 or 2 dribble pull-ups, where I think that he's going to get better at stuff like that. But with that being said, I'd like to see him play off the ball a little bit more, off the strength that as a 2 guard, when I'm not chasing the ball and I am diving to the basket, I'm playing off picking. I am playing off of picks where I'm curling or I'm fading. I'm keeping the defense off balance when I do stuff like that. When I'm chasing the ball and I'm going further away from the basket, that's not difficult to guard. We get to load up on you when you're doing that.
I love it. Like I've said to you multiple times, today's NBA regular season is predicated on hitting the long ball, being good from 3. Right, teams that are hot from 3, blowout wins. When they go cold from 3, blowout losses. But in the playoffs, go and look. The teams that are most effective are efficient from the mid-range. And by mid-range, I mean not just scoring from the mid-range, but running their offense through whether it's coming up high post and then kicking out to the corners for threes, etc. They're efficient in the way that they utilize the mid-range. And those are the teams that win in the playoffs. And so I think if he added that dimension to his game, because last year he said, hey, I worked on the three, right? And he came out and phenomenal from three. This year he said he worked on his mid-range. That is going to really change the dynamic, because now having that new component into his game, he's going to be able to, from the post when times are tough, he's just going to go in there, hit him with, because he's athletic enough. He's got the jumping ability to hit that post fade as good as Kobe and Jordan, obviously. He can then hit the midi. So now when he pulls up for that three, you're like, am I stepping out on this? Because if he still has his dribble, he can one dribble pull up and I'm cooked. And so now even that slight hesitation will now give him even more openings to shoot the long ball. I think it's fantastic for his game, and it helps. Again, the one thing I want to see more of him, you want to see more off ball, I want to see more playmaking. So I think if he can add that component as part of out of the mid-range to play make for others, whether it's dumping it into Gobert for some dunks, kicking it onto corners for some threes, etc., that's going to make that team better as a team. So curious to see. It's going to be fun to watch how they pull that out. I'm currently on the longest contract I've ever had in my life. These damn plumbers become coaches, these pipe fitters, become coaches and get these huge contracts for doing what exactly?
Yeah, well, according to you, being a figurehead, like JJ Redick isn't really.
What did he do last year as a head coach that was so impressive in the playoffs?
Well, I'll tell you what he did do. He played his whole starting five the entire second half. That was impressive.
Yeah, how did that work?
I was blown away that he did. I ain't never seen nothing like that before in my whole life. In any playoff, he looked at Jackson Hayes and said, I'm better off sticking with this five right here than digging into my bench with any of these guys. I was impressed that he had the gumption and the intestinal fortitude, or for lack of a better term, the nuts to do that. I was impressed by that. So yes, I was.
No. You're joking. I want you to tell the truth.
So okay,
you're making a joke. You were not impressed by that. Come on, be honest.
All right. So okay, what was I impressed with? I was impressed with his game plan when they played against Denver. Joker hadn't seen anybody play full court. Him up. Pickup point being way higher. He hadn't seen anybody bodying him up like that and keeping the ball away from him the way that they did in that particular situation. I thought that was a great game plan, and I was impressed with how that worked. I was impressed with that. Yes.
How did you feel about them losing to Minnesota in 5? In the first round.
I actually had them pick to beat Minnesota, and it was obvious that taking Austin Reeves out of the series really affected them, and he couldn't adjust to that. And the reason why he couldn't adjust to that, because one, he didn't dig into his bench, and two, Anthony Edwards did a great job in keeping Austin Reeves, who was ridiculously deficient on the defensive end, keeping him on the defense and making him guard. And the fact that they went to that zone, Rudy Gobert just destroyed them because they were small and they didn't have anybody. So, I mean, I didn't see all of that stuff coming, and it was clear that that just ended up steamrolling them, rolled them right over.
I feel like every NBA team gives these coaches a long-term extension too fast, and then they pull the plug on them even faster.
Yeah.
And that's my concern, is that he hasn't done anything to really earn a long-term contract. He did some good things. He did some bad things. I think his personality came through because you had people saying exactly what we thought they were going to say. He's got a huge ego. He rubs the players the wrong way. He's too abrasive. He's too young to be making, because he's never coached before, making decisions. He's emotional. Playing those 5 guys wasn't a basketball decision. That was an emotional decision. Okay, playing your 5 starters for the whole second half. That was an emotional decision that you can't make at the NBA level. Go figure it out somewhere else, not at the NBA level. So I think the jury's still out, because remember what I said to you at the beginning of the season. I said I hate the hire. Remember, I was very
not happy about it.
And then I said throughout the regular season, I said, you know what? He impressed me. He did a good job in the regular season. And he did. And I gave him all the credit that he deserved. And then in the playoffs, it went back to, God damn it. You are who I thought you were. I pulled up my Dennis Green. Like, they are who we thought they were. If you want to crown his ass, crown him. So it's just like, let
me ask you this, though, Tone.
He's just like an enigma wrapped in a conundrum. And it's driving me nuts.
Which is leading me to my next question, Tone. How long, in terms of this abrasion, how long do you think this lasts with this Laker team? Like, what's the window with him? Because I think you lose James. I already said it to you before, and I still stand on it. I think you lose James after this season. I don't think I'd be surprised if James played after this season. And if he does play after this season, I don't think he's playing anymore. I think if he does play after the season, I can't see him playing past 2 seasons. I think he's done after this year.
I think if he rubs LeBron or Luka the wrong way, he's gone. And I think part 2 of that is when LeBron goes, he goes. I think those two are tied together, whether anybody wants to admit it or not. And you actually bring me to a good point here.
LeBron James.
LeBron James says, I'm not waiting on Bryce. He has his own timeline. I got my timeline. I don't believe him. I think he's waiting on Bryce. And I've been telling you that for years. So I'm going to stay consistent and say, I believe he's waiting on Bryce. That's the only thing he has left. He's not winning another MVP. He's not winning a Defensive Player of the Year. He's probably as I hate. You
can say it again, Tone. He's not winning another championship. Neither.
I won't even say it. I want to speak that into existence. But you're probably right. I'm not going to say those words. But so he's not getting any of those things, right? He's for the ghosts, these accolades that he's chasing from the ghost, he's not catching up anywhere. What else does he have? He loves the game.
Yeah.
Well, you got a beautiful wife at home. He's got an amazing family. For all intents and purposes, we've heard nothing negative about him as a dad. His kids seem to be very good kids. He's done a great job as a father. Like I said, he's got a million side businesses. He's got the podcast and the production company, and Savannah's at home. For those people that say I hate women, I'll be going home to Savannah.
That's not a bad thing to go home to.
What else does he want other than, because nothing else makes sense other than he's waiting on Bryce.
Right. But here's the problem, though, Tone.
Because it's unfair that he played with Bronny and he didn't play with Bryce.
I don't understand why you can't come to grips with this. Just like you have a difficult time with me. I try to do my best, Tone, to be as diplomatic as possible with you. But when it comes to these kids, I think he's looking at his boy, and I think it's going to take a little bit more time with him than with others. And I don't have that kind of time. I don't have 3 or 4 more years. And Bryce may be.
Hold on, wait. Doesn't he?
No.
Let's pause there. Let's pause there.
No.
Where do you have him ranked among NBA players going into this season?
I think I got him at like 8 or 9, something like that.
Where did ESPN rank him? In their top?
I think they had him at 8, something like that.
He's a top 10 player.
Yes, and so was Jabbar at 41 years old, but he wasn't nearly what he used to be. No, he wasn't nearly what he used to be. He was over at that point. And I think James is letting, and he sees the light at the end of the tunnel, Tony. He'll be 41 in December, man. 41 years old. I don't have 3 or 4 more years to wait for this boy. I don't have that.
But he rushed Bronny in. Why can't he rush Bryce in?
Because I got away with rushing Bronny in. I ain't getting away with that twice, though. I'm not. No. First of all, and I ain't even know this, that the Lakers, they passed on an extension with James, which means that after this year, he's a free agent. Okay, now to your point, Tone, what team is going, all right, I'm going to draft Bryce James in order to get you? What is a 42-year-old James going to do? What is a 42-year-old?
Listen. Listen. This was a business decision. Okay, they didn't give him an extension. He takes his and he takes his player option. That brings him in for a year. What does that finalize?
His
The
last year is
sale.
going to be with the Lakers.
No, it finalizes the sale of the Lakers because now we have LeBron James without a player option, 1 year on his contract, and now the new owners can decide what they want to do because they'll have his whatever he's making, $52 million coming off the books. And now you can make the decision. Well, last time I checked, Magic Johnson is part of that Dodgers ownership that now owns the Lakers that paid $10 billion for them. He wants to play 2 more years. He wants a 1-and-1. That's how he's played kind of the last 50 years of his career, where it's a 1-and-1. That's what he's going to do. He's going to get a 1-and-1 player option in that second year. He'll play 1 more year with the Lakers after this season, and then that's when I think he'll say, "Can Bronny come in for that last year as my option? Okay, then I'm gonna exercise my option and play that last year with him, or no, Bryce is 2 years away." So I think not this year, the year after will be his swan song. And what more fitting for he's going to retire as I think he's been on the Lakers for the longest consistent stretch of any team. It'll be the longest stretch with one team at that time that he's ever played for. And he will retire in year 24. Greatest Laker of all time, number 24.
So
that's poetry. That's beautiful.
It sounds like a great story, but Tone.
Well, that's what the NBA is. It's entertainment.
Yeah, 100% it is. But where you trip me up at is you trip me up with him and the Lakers not coming to an agreement on an extension. I think they're out of the LeBron James business after this season. I think that they're out.
That was a different ownership.
And that's what I'm talking about. This ownership currently, I think that they are out of the LeBron James. I think they're out of the business of LeBron James.
I disagree. I think they're out on Rob Pelinka.
And if you out on Rob Pelinka, I promise you, Tone, the next GM that comes in here, he wants nothing to do with LeBron James.
I don't know.
Nothing.
Man.
No.
I don't know.
We starting over. I got this young kid in Luka. I got this young guy, 25 years old, in DeAndre Ayton. We building our unit around these 2 kids. Yes, we are.
Can you make sense of this for me? Fluent
can't come to grips with.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Fluent can't come to grips with the fact that Bryce possibly isn't good enough. He's a LeBron hater.
Isn't that contradicting? Like,
did you hear everything? Did you hear anything that he just said? In fact,
I don't think he did. I don't think he did. I don't think anybody actually listens. To be honest with you,
he literally just said that the Lakers are going to bring him back at a 1-on-1, and he's going to play with his kid. He literally just said that. That's exactly what he just said. So, I mean, anyway,
I couldn't understand either. That being said, that's what I think. That's what I think. I just think, because what else is he playing for? What else is he playing for?
And I think that could be. I think it could be valid if he was going to hold up. Again, he'd be 41 in December. I don't think that Bryce is a one and done. I don't. I think that Bryce is a kid.
Listen, I'm not suggesting that Bryce is a one and done, or like I said, he might be 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is I got a guy who loves the game, clearly, but has nothing left to prove. Right? We all agree there's probably nothing else he's going to win in terms of any kind of trophies and stuff. He's won them all. So what else would keep him going versus going and being at home with his amazing family? And I think it's love of the game, or it's an opportunity. Maybe he just feels he wants to play more with Bronny, because Bronny didn't really play a lot. Like, yeah, okay, they stepped on the court together, but it wasn't a lot. So I just think if he loves the game and you agree that he's a top 10 player, why shouldn't he play more? Like, you're saying he shouldn't play more. I'm saying he should. I'm that LeBron hater, apparently, who's saying he should continue to play more because I think he's a top 5 player still in the NBA. Why shouldn't he play?
Why shouldn't he play is because you can play yourself out of your legacy. Russell Wilson is proving that every day. As good as Russell Wilson was, I think Russell Wilson is playing himself so far away from what he used to be, and people are forgetting what he used to be. And now he's basically a journeyman who is not very good. James is now held to the standard of championships. That's it. James is not held to the. He's not held to the. He's not held to the standard of scoring titles. He's not held to the standard of league MVP. He's held to the standard of championships. And every year that he loses compounds how much longer or him overstaying his welcome every year until he gets to a point where I can't keep losing in round one. I can't keep losing. I can't keep losing in the semifinals. I can't keep doing that. There's no reason for me to keep. There's no reason for me to keep playing. None whatsoever.
I think the standard that people hold him to unfairly is they compare him. I said this to you last year when our preseason rankings, and I had him 1. The reason I had him 1 is I said he's better than everybody else in the league, but we compare him to who he was, and that's I think the unfair comparison. I think it's less the championships and all that other stuff. I think it's they compare him to himself. And that's something that a 41-year-old LeBron can't do. He can't be 13 LeBron. And that's the expectation. And I think like, do we do that? Like, I didn't even think 98 Jordan you could compare to 91 Jordan, let alone 2001 Jordan. Like, we didn't do that to him. We didn't say at 38, 39 years old, we were expecting him to be 26, 27-year-old. Why are we doing that with LeBron? We've never done that with anybody else.
Interesting. I don't think anybody else had the GOAT title. And with the GOAT title,
Jordan,
that's
Jordan
the standard
did.
that he's
Jordan,
held to.
Jordan did. Kareem did.
Okay, but with Jordan having the GOAT title, we still loved Jordan the way we did in 2001. And I don't think that there was anybody that was really holding Jordan to the standard of champion when he was with the Wizards.
100%.
I don't think anybody was doing that because he had been away from the game for over 3 years at that point. James, on the other hand, he's still playing at that level. So that's why I feel like he's still held to that standard. And because he's still held to that standard, every year that he's not winning is another year that we can add on to what he didn't do, as opposed to if he was winning. I think that compounds his legacy. So you could definitely play your way out of. I definitely think you can play your way out of what you used to be. Yes,
Okay.
I definitely.
All right. We're going to stay with the Lakers quickly. One more second. Austin Reeves believes that he could be an all-star, but he'd rather not be an all-star on a bad team. Put stat padding, putting up numbers. He'd rather be, behind LeBron and Luka and competing for chips. Is that fair or foul?
I could definitely get with that, Tom. I mean, first of all, he averaged 20 a game on a team that was the 3rd seed in the Western Conference. He averaged 20 a game last year. I'm trying to remember the last guy who averaged that many points on a top seed in the Western Conference, a top 3 seed. Because I think CJ McCullough was 20 a game for 6 years running with Damian Lillard. I don't think they ever finished top 3 in the Western Conference, though. I know that they finished top 5. I think they were 4 1 year, but I don't ever think that they finished top 3. And this guy finished top 3 in the Western Conference. I mean, his team finished top 3 in the Western Conference. He's averaging 20 a game. One of the better one-on-one players. I haven't given him nearly as much credit as I should. One of the better one-on-one players, one of the better shot makers, and playing with Luka, which I thought that would really enhance his game. And it's going to enhance his game even more this year. Like, I'm actually having conversations with people that are telling me, he might not be starting this season. It might be Marcus Smart starting over him. I'm like, no. It's your starting 2 guard right here. That's him right there. That's your starting 2 guard.
I'd tell you he'd be better off coming off the bench.
You like him as a rotation player?
I know. I like him coming off the bench because of what he does. Reeves is a bucket. He's not a great defender, but he is a bucket. What did the Lakers starting unit need? Defense. Now, I'm not saying Marcus Smart is the answer at defense, but adding in Ayton, getting in, some healthy players back on the perimeter that can defend, but a Marcus Smart who, again, athletically might not be there, but he's going to be talking and getting guys in the right spots along with LeBron James, defensively. That a guy like Reeves, who is best when he has the ball in his hands. I love a great scorer coming off the bench who is better with the ball in his hand. I'm not saying he can't play off ball. I'm saying he's better with the ball in his hand. I like that guy coming off the bench and going up against second unit defenders and being that guy. So when when LeBron or Luka or both, rarely, but both take take a breath, I still got scoring, right? What was the biggest thing we talked about with Denver is every time Jokic came off the bench, every time Jokic went to the bench, that team couldn't do anything. Yeah, and now I'm like, okay, when LeBron comes off or Luka comes off, whether they're having a good night or bad night, I got this guy who's going to come in against the other team's second unit, and he's going to drop 20 a night. I think it enhances his ability because he's going to have better matchups, and I think it helps the team because now there's going to be a more consistency. Because when you have LeBron, Luka, and Reeves, who all are best when the ball is in their hand, well, there's only one ball, so that's a great way to spread that out and allow them to, because again, LeBron is 41. Right,
yes, Luka's 41 years old. Yes, sir.
Luka looks great, but he's played a lot of basketball this summer. So I think if you can have that consistency, I look at like a Ginobili, good enough to be a starter on any team in the NBA, but drop him in off the bench and he just embraced that 6-man role and came in and did his thing. I'm not saying he couldn't, and he's not good enough to be their starting 2 guard, because you're right, he is. I would love if we can have him coming off the bench and add a little defense to our starting unit. Ooh, I do like that.
If you look at him as a rotation player, Tone. So
I look at him as a guy that we're going to use as a 6-man. But
that's what I'm saying.
Is good enough to be a starter.
Well, that's exactly where I'm going with this, Tone. So like Malik Monk, Nas Reed. I'm thinking about really good rotation players. Malik Monk, Nas Reed. Like, where do you think he would rank if he was in that space of being a rotation guy?
He's battling those guys for 6-man of the year.
Are we having that conversation?
100%. 100%.
Wow. Oh, all right. Okay.
And I think it makes sense with this team, right? There's other teams where it'd be like, no, you got to start him. On this team, and that doesn't mean he doesn't finish.
Yep.
It doesn't mean he doesn't finish games. It means
I can come off the bench and play starter minutes. I can do that.
Exactly.
That's not a big deal. But I'm thinking about him. So like guys like Peyton Pritchard, Malik Beasley, Ty Jerome, like I said, Nas Reed, DeAndre Hunter, guys like that, like the kid up in Minnesota that ended up in Atlanta, Alexander Walker, Shay's cousin, guys like that. I'm thinking about that level of player.
I think he's better than almost all of those guys you mentioned. Yeah, coming off the bench, because he was doing that. Don't forget, he was doing that when LeBron being out, Luka being out, going against teams number 1s. I'm just putting it out there. I think he's got a shot in that role. I like it for him. I hate this on so many levels.
I love this, boy.
Jalen Williams.
Let's get my man Tone's blood pressure up a little bit, ladies and gentlemen.
Jalen Williams will be the last player in NBA history to wear number 6. As you know, they retired Bill Russell's number 6, never should have done it, across the entire NBA. But they grandfathered it out. And Jalen is the last player who had the number 6 prior. So once he changes numbers, changes teams, does whatever the heck he's going to do, retires, no one else will be able to start. No new players can come in to the NBA and say, I want the number.
So James can't scrap the number 23 in the Lakers and put on 6? He can't do that?
He probably could. Let's be honest. Technically, he's not supposed to be allowed to do it. Let me hear your take on this, because you already know how I feel. I don't like any of it, but because if you're going to retire a number, which I don't want you to retire a number, if you're going to retire a number, retire the damn number. That day that you retire it, no one can wear it across the league, period, ever. Done. You don't like it? Too bad. Go play somewhere else. I'd be like the WNBA commissioner. If you don't like it, leave. I also don't think the entire NBA should retire. There's only one number I think the whole entire NBA should retire. And I'll talk about that in a second. However, what are your thoughts on Jalen Williams being the last player?
Number one, if we're going to retire the number, he shouldn't be the last one wearing it. If we're doing that. That's my biggest problem.
In fact, they should take it off him and give it to make LeBron finish his career with the number 6, and he should be
somebody else should be wearing number 6
in honor of Bill Russell. Yes, 100%. Yes,
somebody else should be wearing number 6. But I mean, Bill Russell is the staple of greatness. Bill Russell is the staple of championships. Bill Russell is the most awesome.
He's a fraud.
Yeah, I mean, Bill Russell is one of the
You
best.
said, yeah, I
if
just
not the
want to be clear.
best defensive one of the best defensive players in NBA history. So if we're going to retire him and we're going to retire his jersey, then that means that we're cementing the legacy of Bill Russell. That means nobody else can bring this jersey out of the Raptors. Nobody. I don't care who it is, because it's not getting retired by the Celtics. It's getting retired by the NBA. Nobody else is doing it. I'm actually a fan of retiring jerseys. And the reason why I'm a fan of retiring jerseys, unlike you, is because I feel like it cements my legacy. Like when I was here, this is what I did. When I was here, this is who I was. So for the number 6 to be retired, it should be retired throughout the entire NBA. And this guy, of all people, shouldn't be wearing it. No.
I will stick to what I say. I don't like it. I don't like retired numbers. I don't like anybody's number being retired. Listen, if they want to put the number 6 up in the rafters to honor Bill Russell for what he did as not only a basketball player, as a defender, as a champion, but civil rights and what he did off the court, which is even more impressive than what he did on the court, and you want to have the number 6 hanging in everybody's arena in honor of Bill Russell and call him out and give an award, which they have in his name and all that other stuff, I love. The Boston Celtics want to retire his number. Fine. I'm okay. I'm okay with that. I don't like them retiring the number right across the league because I think it's too much. I believe that he should be honored. And I think teams, I'll say it a millionth time, I like the Ring of Honor where they honor the number 6. That's who it is. And only like you don't get to pick it. The team can say you can have it. Much like 88 with the Cowboys, right? You don't get to pick 88. It gets passed to you, right? Michael Irvin wasn't the first 88, great 88 Dallas Cowboy, but he was told you're the Des Bryant, CeeDee Lamb. They were given
these are the shoes that you
because these are the shoes that you're expected to fill, and they could say no, but they're like, and all of them to a certain extent lived up to that number. I like that personally. When you do decide to retire a number, though, I'm sorry, the whole grandfathered. Why? Because there isn't another number for them to pick. It's going to be different if he was number 5. He was number 7.
Would I be comfortable if SGA decided to? Yeah. I mean, I think I'd be more comfortable if SGA wore this number.
I'm just saying, I'd be more comfortable if Jason Tatum was wearing it. But I just think if you retire the number, get rid of it. And like I said, and I've said it a million times, it'll never happen. But when you have, there's a debate, Jordan and LeBron. We're not doing the debate, but there's a debate. But I think 90% of people I've talked to have Jordan and LeBron 1, 2, or 3. With I don't know very many people who don't have Jordan and LeBron at least in their top 3. I can't think of anyone who doesn't. Maybe there's very small number.
Yep.
So if you have 2 guys, 1, 2, 3, and they've played a combined 40 years by the time it's all said and done. Right. I could, if you were to say number 23 is retired throughout the league and you bring those 2 together and say that would be the only time I'd be like, I still don't like it, but okay.
Mm-hmm.
But okay. I get why you're doing it. I'd say, okay. You wouldn't hear me complain. If you asked me if I like it, I'd still say no, because I just don't like it. But I would understand if you did that. That's the only. So I feel like this is, and this is no disrespect. He's in the NBA, so he's a great player.
Yes.
I think it's kind of.
You shouldn't be wearing this number though. Like you shouldn't be the last dude wearing Bill Russell number, not you. No.
But then again, I also think this is just gonna, in 10 years from now, this is just gonna be a trivia question. And no one's gonna remember it. No one's gonna think about it. But they'll say, "Who's the last player in NBA to wear number 6 after he was retired?" To be like, "Oh, it was Jalen Williams." Who the hell is Jalen Williams? Oh yeah, he played for the Thunder. Like, so that's
not J Dub, by the way.
The wrong. How many J? They should trade they should trade people. They can't have the same almost the same name on the same team. I think there's a problem there. Okay, I got 2 teams for you. Are we, because we started at 8:30 instead of 8? Are you good going to 10:30?
I'm good going for like another 10 minutes.
Okay, in that case, I will not drop the link unless I get a bunch of people in the chat saying, "I want the link. I want the link." because everybody, as you know, is quick to say, I'm gonna come school you guys, and then they never actually show up. All right, so we've got a couple of teams. I'm gonna start with, I believe, your team. You believe 2 cents. Don't be throwing tomatoes. If you want to come up, you know we always got time for your 2 cents. Your team, the Cleveland Cavaliers, who you said not once, not twice, not 3 times, but that this is their year, and you've been saying it for 3 years, that this is the Cavs' year to win the NBA championship or at least make it to the NBA Finals. Are you sticking to that, and why? If you
I'm looking at this, because I'm looking at this group, and these 4 guys right here, yes. For this reason right here, these 4 guys. Evan Mobley is filled out. He looks fantastic. Darius Garland, if he could stay healthy, right? If Darius Garland could stay healthy and Darius Garland can still play at the level that I think he can play at, as efficient as he is, you already know how I feel about Donovan Mitchell, Tone. I think he's the best 2 guard in the game. I think this is the best 2-man. I think this is the best 2 big combo in the league. That includes Bam and Khalil Ware. I think these 2 guys combined are better than those 2 guys combined. And I think with the rotation guys that they have down in Cleveland, I just think that this team, the thing that they were missing, the thing that I think that they were missing was toughness. I think that's the thing that held them up. If these guys can stay tough, right? If these guys can get tougher, I think that we're in business with this group. I think we're in business, Tone. Yes, I do. I think we're in business.
I think you got so lucky. I think you got so lucky that the rest of the East kind of fell apart, that your prediction from 2 years ago can come true because, one, they're ready to take the next step, and the steps became a lot closer. They're not having to take big, like, I think it's one of those perfect storms. As long as they stay healthy, like you said, all those other things, I think you could be right. Can I just say safe travels? Are you heading somewhere?
I am heading somewhere. You and I had a conversation about this not too long ago about what's going on in my family.
Oh, that I didn't know that was public knowledge. Okay,
yes, sir.
In that case, I thought there was something else. How was? Oh, let me save that question for this. So this is your team coming out of the East?
This is my team winning the NBA championship. I think they win the whole thing this year. Yes.
What do you think? If healthy all season, could they be facing the Dallas Mavericks?
There's 3 teams in the Western Conference that I love to go to the NBA championship. That's the Oklahoma City Thunder, that's the Denver Nuggets, and that's these guys right here. And the reason why I love these guys is off the strength of the brand of basketball that they play. People look at Kyrie Irving, Tone, and they immediately think about just dribble, tween, instant offense. I don't think this crew is going to be predicated on that. I think Cooper Flagg is a really good defender. I think Anthony Davis is a guy who we're not talking about this year. When we're talking about league MVPs, I think Anthony Davis is one of those guys that we can have a conversation. Yes,
league MVP.
One of those guys. Yes, I think that he's one of those guys that we're going to have a conversation about him, because I think Dallas is a top 4 seed in the Western Conference. And with them being the top 4 seed in the Western Conference, I think they're going to be one of the better defensive teams in the game. With them being one of the better defensive teams in the game, I think that's going to be powered by Anthony Davis. He's one of the better help defenders in the game. He's one of the better rim protectors in the game. He's one of the best roamers in the game. And I think Cooper Flagg is just I think he's going to be a sponge and learn from that. And they got really good rotation guys too. I think this Dallas Maverick team, the way that they play with that front court of Anthony Davis, and not just Anthony Davis, but also, why am I drawing a blank on Derek Lively, who actually got taller also, and not just PJ Washington, but why am I drawing a blank on the other big guy's name that came from Washington? Him,
Derek Lively.
Why am I drawing a blank on the big fella's name?
That was my favorite pickup in the at the deadline.
They basically stole him from Washington. I don't know why. Daniel Gafford, that's his name.
Daniel Gafford. Yeah.
Yes. So you got Daniel Gafford, Anthony Davis, Derek Lively. I love this front line, Tone. I do. I love this front line, and I love the fact that they're going to be really good defensively. They're going to cause a lot of trouble. I could see them in the NBA Finals.
As long as D'Lo doesn't sabotage the team chemistry, right?
I don't think he's going to do that. I think he's going to be a lot better than y'all dudes give him credit for.
I was just playing. All right, so we got 4 more minutes. Max Christie. Yeah, I like I said, if healthy, I think Dallas came out of that Laker trade, that Luka trade. You traded away the best player in the trade, and it looks like you won. So we got Jacob, and then 2 cents because we got 4 minutes left. Jacob, what's going on?
What up?
ETH should have added an AF at the end for and Fluent.
What up?
Yeah, but no, that's just for him.
So a comment I wanted to make was about D'Anthony Melton. I think him re-signing with the Warriors is a huge defensive addition for them on the bench. Obviously, that doesn't solve the elephant in the room.
Which is what?
The age.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we all know that. But giving him the consistent time on the bench with Curry off, that defensive lineup with Curry off is going to be so disgusting, in my opinion. But honestly, I could see that lineup being more efficient than with Steph Curry on the floor defensively. Like, not overall more efficient, not just defensively, I meant to say.
Okay, so Jimmy Butler's going to be what, 35, 36, right?
Just turned 36 this month.
He's turning 36. Steph Curry's turning 37.
38 in March, Tone. 38.
Oh, no.
He'll be 38 in March. Yes, Tom. He'll be 38 in March.
38 in March. Okay, fine.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was 37. Okay.
He is 37.
No, I thought he was turning 37. You're saying he's turning 38. My bad. Okay. Draymond's what, 35?
He'll be 36 this season. Yep.
36.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, Jacob, my man Tone. Let me tell you what Tone just did. Remember, you ever seen the way to bring the bill to the table, and you look at that bill like, oh shit, I didn't know it was this much. That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
When they say market,
now I gotta leave a tip too.
Like, oh shit, I didn't know it was this much. Wait a minute.
When they say market price for the lobster, you should ask how much that is, and then
what's market price?
How many pounds of that am I getting?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
But another thing too is, I mean, you guys went into good depth about the situation with the WNBA Commissioner. My thought is, though, I still don't have an answer on why she would even say that. Like that, it doesn't make any sense to me for any reason to come out and say that.
Jacob, the reason why she would say that is because she's the commissioner. I'm the boss. I run things around here. I say whatever I want. And on top of that, the league, the WNBA isn't like the NBA in terms of notoriety. What are you going to do about it? Who are you going to tell? Who's going to listen to you? Not realizing that women like Nafisa, women like Asia are like, who the hell this chick thinks she talking to? No, you're not going to talk to me like that, and they will put you on blast. Yes, they will, especially considering where we are today.
And multiple players have opened their mouths about it.
Mm-hmm.
Not just a few. It's been a lot.
As they should have. They should have, 100%.
And I would hate to see some disagreement in the new contract coming up, because.
Well, that's why I said I think if she's going to be stepping down, or they're going to they should get rid of her before they negotiate it.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand, because I'm going to say they just put themselves in a position to uplift the WNBA like way higher than it's ever been before. And now all of a sudden, possibly making one comment could throw a huge wrench in that, and all of a sudden we're back to square one of where we started.
And let's be very, very clear, guys. Like, forget the people who say I hate the WNBA and it sucks. Okay, you're not the one. You don't really matter. If you're not watching it already, then who cares? However, I think they both don't understand. I think there's a scenario where both parties are wrong. I don't think the players understand what a luxury it is to be able to, even the ones who've played overseas, but especially the ones who haven't, what a luxury it is to have a league in the U.S. Because for us who've played in Europe, it's a pain in the ass. Even if you speak the language like I did, it's not as good as playing at home. So that's from the player side. But the WNBA needs to also understand they have something here that could become very, very profitable in the near future. I'm talking like 2 years. This could be very, very profitable. And if those players say forget it, and because if they hold out, it doesn't mean they're just not going to play and they have no money. No, they're going to unfortunately go overseas and play and make more money and then it's the WNBA. It's those owners and those people that are going to suffer from this. And so that's, I think, the part that they both could kill each other, but they both could really help each other out. And I don't think that they realize how much they need each other. They're like a symbiotic, right? It's like Venom.
Yeah, they have to work together.
They need each other to survive. So
absolutely. Good to talk to you, Jacob.
Right.
Appreciate you, brother.
All right, see you glancing at that game. I just got off. I'm about to do the same thing.
All right, brother. Good to talk to you.
2 cents. I'm only saying this because you know we always end with 2 cents. So hold up. Wait a minute. We need to talk about the is it the cat? No. What team? What team?
The Celtics.
It's the Celtics. Oh yes.
Oh, I'm not talking about my team. There's a much.
You're gonna be on my side with the Celtics.
Nah, there ain't much to talk about with them this year.
I said such wonderful things. Were you not watching?
I was. You said a lot of really great things about our team. It's just there isn't really much to talk about. I mean,
you know why? It's because I do this show on Wednesday nights, NBA Max, right here on Sports Fluent at 8 p.m. with Ori from Hoop Social and Chris from All American Hoops, and they're both Celtics fans, so they keep pumping green. Even as a Laker fan, they got me twisted a little bit.
Shamrocks and
Shamrocks and
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. What up?
Chill, real quick. Can I get your top 10 best players right now
in the league?
Yeah, currently in the league.
Top 10 players in the league. So in no particular order: Shea, Joker, Giannis.
In order, preferably.
So in order: Shea,
everybody's
Joker.
Healthy, everybody's healthy.
Everybody's healthy.
Right now, because I need to know this because like Shea's really taking a giant step up right now. So you got him in.
I think Shea's the best player in the league
right now.
So, yeah, I think he's the best player in the league. So Shea, Joker, Giannis, Jason Tatum, Luka, Anthony Davis, Anthony Edwards, James. Actually, not Anthony Edwards. Flip that around. Anthony Davis, Donovan Mitchell, Anthony Edwards, James.
Curry in there?
I think Curry's still a top 10 player in the game. Yes, I do.
I was waiting for Curry.
Yeah,
okay.
I think Curry's still a top 10 player in the game. Yes.
Why are we on Shea being the best player in the game and not Joker right now? What changed?
The reason why, because I care about winning. That's why.
So winning right now is what caused Shea to like jump up.
Well, it's not right now. It's just that's part of it. If you can't just jump into the top 5 and you haven't been here for a while. Okay, Shea's checked that box. I've averaged 30 a game over the last 3 years. I've been first team All Pro over the last 3 years. So I had that checked, no problem. Got that down. So, and then I had the season that I had, and we did the same thing with all of these other guys who were the best players in the world when they achieved what they achieved. That made me the best player in the world. I'm not going to hold that against SGA. I'm not going to do that. I think he's the best player on the planet.
I saw a TikTok that you made that actually made quite a lot of sense where Shea is like the only guy right now who's won a league MVP, NBA championship, finals MVP, and right now is not being talked about being the best player in the game.
We did it with everybody else. We did it when Jordan did it. We did it when Olajuwon did it. We did it when Shaq did it.
I have to push back on that though, just a little bit. Did we say outright that Bird was the best player in the game?
Yes.
Or was Jabbar better?
The reason why we didn't say it, the reason why we didn't say it outright, and I'm going to say this for the people in the cheap seats, it was because he was white. That was it. It wasn't for no other reason. It was because he was white. That was it. Because Bird was the best player in the game in 1984. Yes, he was. He was better than Jabbar. He was better than Magic. He was better than Moses Malone. He was better than Terry Cummins. He was better than all of those guys. Yes. The only reason why we didn't say it outright, because he was white. That was it.
That's the only one that I have pushback on. Was like Bird outright being the best player. You don't think so, Fluent? You don't think so?
Never was a Celtic ever the best player in the NBA.
See? Mm-hmm. But he's a Laker fan though. So remember, talking to a Laker guy. So he'll never give that up. It's kind of like you, Jay, being a Celtic fan. Like you would never say that a Laker was the best player in the game.
Never.
And you shouldn't. Exactly. Even though that Shaq was the best player in the game, even though Bird was the best player in the game, You being a Celtic guy, now you'll never give that up to him. And I don't blame. No.
I got a question for you, Fluent. I've got to know what you think your Lakers are going to do today. I got to know what your Lakers are going to do this season.
Well, listen, everything when it comes to preseason, I'm unless you're asking me to put my analyst hat on, if I'm talking just as a regular Joe, I have to speak it into existence. They're winning the NBA championship.
They're winning the chip?
Of course, that's what I think every single season for the Lakers.
Any concerns about DeAndre Ayton, anything like that?
As an analyst, and I take away my fandom, realistically, they're probably a second round team. If healthy.
If healthy? Everyone's healthy on the roster?
I don't like DeAndre Ayton as much as everybody else does. I know that Jay thinks, he keeps convincing me that he's in a contract year and he's going to work really hard and he's going to be better. I don't think so.
Double guy.
I think they're gonna listen to me, not have all the freedom on the bench.
I think we lost him.
No,
I'm still here.
I'm just muting your mic for a second because there's a lot of background noise. I don't like the DeAndre Ayton thing. I don't think he's gonna be as good as everybody thinks he's gonna be. I don't think they're gonna listen to me and have Austin Reeves come off the bench. So I think they're gonna have Reeves, LeBron, and Luka all starting, which I think is going to cause some defensive issues and going to create some stuff. Like I said, they're all best when they have the ball in their hands, and so I think, and I don't think JJ Redick's going to do a good job of his rotations, and therefore I think they're going to underachieve expectations. That's what I honestly believe about them. But as a fan, it's championship or bust.
Any concerns whatsoever about Ayton as a defender? I'm concerned about him defensively.
I'm concerned that they think they're getting, this guy that they saw for like minutes, where he was a good motor, good defender, and I think you're going to see a lazy, soft defensive liability, and that's I think you're going into the season where, if you're expecting LeBron to be the best defender, 41-year-old LeBron to be in year 23, LeBron to be the best defender on your team, you're in a lot of trouble.
Can we get James to kind of put
Jay, we got to go, brother. We got, unfortunately,
you got to go.
Talk to you all day, but we got to go, brother.
I could go all day. All right, my bad.
You guys have a good one.
Yeah, we got to bounce.
All right, 2 cents.
Saying,
2 cents. 2 cents got 2 cents. Oh wait, I forgot to cue his music. 2 cents.
What's up?
1 but 2. I don't have 3, only 2. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, I got my Google timer already set.
Right,
it's less than 2 minutes. So first of all, I'm gonna start off with this prayers and positive vibes to Chill what he's about to endure, that type of deal. But I'm gonna move to this one. Wemby, when we was talking about he got an inch taller, unless we playing soccer, I don't care if he got 5 inches taller. Now, if you told me his arms got longer, that would be great. So I can understand what you're saying about Wemby. I'm like, yeah, okay, because you ain't blocking balls with your head. But at the end of the day, because look at Desmond Bain, he's pretty tall. He got alligator arms. But next one. Next one, man, you got to admit, but I'm not falling for it like I used to about the Clippers. The Clippers, man, look at that squad. God, oh my. God, so I ain't talking about, you remember when LeBron said we top heavy. This is what he meant, because I can have 5 good guys. But at the end of the day, bro, I can beat 5 good guys because I can sub in and a guy that's got high energy and he's not tired. You become subpar if you play the whole. That's the reason why the best 5 players don't play 48 minutes. And we already know that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, they are scary on paper. But I ain't falling for that again in 2025. Yeah, I'm going to try to leave it right there. I had some more stuff to talk about. I'm at 14 seconds.
No, man, I appreciate you with the okie doke. Not gonna get me with the okie doke.
Oh wait, yeah. I meant to say this. Before I go. Yeah. Hold on, let me stop this timer. But at the end of the day, it's some people that believe in hypotheticals. See, the reason why you and we can associate with each other because we are each other's peers. It's a difference between hypothetical and hypothesis. The people you guys are speaking from a hypothesis. They're speaking just hypothetical, and it's a difference. And the guys that we speak to a lot of times, I be looking at these shows, I'm like, this dude like 20, 25, maybe 30. He don't even know. He is not speaking from an educated guess on what's going to happen. We're not prophets or anything like that. But at the end of the day, I respect your hypothesis on sports and things like that, because we're not God or anything like that. We know things can happen. But I appreciate you guys, man.
I appreciate it.
All right, brother. Good to talk to you, my man. Absolutely.
I was pretty much a prophet last year about the 76ers. Can you, I want to clip this. Can you just run down your top 10 players that you did for Jay one more time right now?
And it was everybody healthy.
Yeah, everybody healthy. Everybody healthy, top 10.
SGA, Joker, Giannis, Jason Tatum, Luka, AD, Donovan Mitchell, Anthony Edwards, KD, James, Curry.
All right, so I'm going to do mine. I got Jokic, SGA, Luka, Giannis, LeBron, Ant, Wemby, AD, Steph, Tatum.
Tatum at 10. Wow, healthy. No way. Ain't 9 players in the game better than Jason Tatum when he healthy.
I just named them. On that note, I know you got a game you want to watch.
Y'all know what time it is when y'all see us. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. You know where to find us at. We are here every Tuesday night. Basketball season is upon us. We ain't there yet, but we getting close. We are getting close. So basketball season is upon us. Me and my man Tony Tone, you know where to find us at right here on the Chilltown Hoops and Sports Fluent Network. We will see you soon. Until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey man, call your mother. When's the last time you talked to your mother? Call your mother. I'll talk to you guys soon. But until then, take it light, but take it.
When you say call, do you make this hand motion, or do you like an iPhone? Do you do it like this, or you do it like this? Oh, you're holding like the old school phone.
Fluent and chill, yeah, we call it how it's played. From the field to the court, every legend gets weighed. Fourth quarter heat or a 2-minute drill. If you can't handle the truth, better chill with the skill. LeBron and MJ, we break that smoke.
The closest thing to perfection, what does that make you?
Stats don't lie, we just let us build. This is real talk sports, welcome to Fluent and Chill. Fluent and chill, yeah, we call it how it's played. From the field to the court, every legend gets weighed.